technology executive and was CEO of the first internet radio network. He's a digital political strategist, helping the right side use new technology more effectively. He's a public speaker, sitting in for Rush Limbaugh today. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Todd Herman.
It is always an incredible honor to fill in for Rush Limbaugh, and let's just everybody together wish Rush a happy Independence Day. His entire family, everybody in the Limbaugh family, happy Independence Day. We're packed. If we don't get to use a stack of stuff, that's trademark. That's America's Anchor Man too. So we get a junior stack of stuff, but it fills a trailer. And to back up a huge, massive trailer of paper today in the studios of 590 KQT in Spokane, let me use the studios, we have COVID fact-checking because cases. Do you see the narrative? Cases. This is the narrative as if cases equals death. So this narrative, we got to poke a hole in that. That's not hard to do. We're going to talk about that. Some of the steps that are being taken in your states to limit your liberties are, they're insane. There are states that are saying you can meet with 5 people outside of your household per week, but not 6. Love to see the data on that 6th person. That's what's going to push us over the top. We're also going to talk about who's making money on the lockdowns. Would it surprise you to know there are politicians who've effectively cut out their competition, but they're staying open in businesses they own. Plus, it's Open Line Friday, 800-282-2882. So any of the topics you want to bring in, if you've got a trailer of stuff, tell us that as well. We sometimes look at this period of time that we're in. It is so easy to perceive what we're going through as a burden. It really is easy to do that. I believe that God gives us things we can handle, but I believe also sometimes the burden that we carry is that which is our opportunity for growth. And we have sitting in front of us one of the greatest opportunities for growth as a political movement of conservatives and constitutionalists and people who love this country and love what it's designed to be. And it's so fascinating to me that this epiphany hit me just before Independence Day, which is for personal reasons, my most meaningful holiday next to Christmas and Easter, for personal reasons. Look at this headline, Fox News. Activists urging a 4th of July boycott say black experiences have not improved. Just imagine the arrogance of this. I think of black people I know, and how can you go to them and say, yeah, you got 3 homes, and you own several businesses, and your kids have graduated college and are on to their businesses and their pursuits, and they're in academia, but there's been no progress. You haven't made any progress. Or to go back generations. To predicate this idea that we need to boycott the 4th of July because things haven't gotten better, it's not only nonsensical. This can only happen in a country where people have been taught to consume nonsense as if it's real life. We are not the racist country that people want to make us. We are a country that has racists in it, and every country does. And this is another fantastic lie that has been fashioned and merchandised by the left, that we're unique in this way. We are fallen beings. We make mistakes. We have failings. Most of us, though, look at a headline like this and say, are you telling me? Let's go to Martin Luther King's family, the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King's family, and say, he didn't make a difference. All the marches, the incredibly brave speeches, it didn't change anything. Let's talk to the family of Alice Green and Rush. Rush has just been so heroic in this. I heard him speak at this again. Aunt Jemima. Remember Aunt Jemima? I heard him speak at this again, and I remembered years ago, oh my gosh, I remember this story from Rush's show. That she became one of the first black millionaires in our country, portraying Aunt Jemima. She used that position to travel the world and to talk about the ills under which black people were suffering in this country due to the excesses of Jim Crow, etc., and the history of that. That's not progress. How do you say this is not progress? How can you say things have not progressed? We have this opportunity to say to black Americans, you have progressed. You have progressed. You have progressed. You. There was a burden you carried. And we can fully admit that that burden existed. Slavery was a burden and a perversion of moral truth. It was that for every race that was enslaved. Native Americans and Irish, etc. And I'm not trying to take away from the black experience when I say that. I'm trying to unify the experience of fighting that perversion. It still exists in places in the world. You changed that, and now the activists want to tell you your work has been useless? Frederick Douglass's writings have been useless? The teachings of some of the greatest people in our country's history, like Frederick Douglass, this didn't change anything. This is a remarkably arrogant statement, but this burden that we're carrying of this time that seems just so hard, and it is hard, and it's planned to be hard, and these crises. The virus is real. It makes people sick. I was talking this morning with someone who has family members quarantined in their house. So it is real. There are people affected by it. And the national media's coordinated response to this, cases, record number of cases, clearly that's a manufactured narrative. Clearly they've cooperated on that. It's just too clear. That cooperation on that narrative is also a cooperation on the panic narrative. And the refusal to recognize the progress that has been made, this burden that the black people in our country carried across a goal line, gaining the right to vote, having the rights that they were given by God as born free human beings, these things have gotten better. And now you have a group of self-confessed trained Marxists who want to take it backwards. They want to go back to everybody being controlled by a small group of people. How is that not an alarm bell to so many black Americans? Well, because the leaders of Black Lives Matter, the self-confessed Marxists, because they're black, there are histories of black people doing harm to black people. And if you tie any history back to the ideology of Marxism, it's an evil ideology. You can defeat this too. You can defeat this and have police reform. You can defeat this and argue through legislative processes for more change. You can do that if you do not buy the rhetoric that your work hasn't mattered. Something remarkable in politics happened yesterday. Well, let me rephrase that. Something remarkable between two men happened yesterday. You know, I'm from Seattle. You know, we've talked about the atrocities that existed within the so-called CHOP. I call it Antifistan. We had 4 shootings, 2 deaths. We had rapes, we had assaults, we had sexual assaults on camera, much more. There was a gentleman who lost his son. His son was 19 years old. Sean Hannity had this gentleman on his television show. His name is Horace Lorenzo Anderson. The mayor of Seattle's name is Jeannie Durkin, and she's irretrievably opportunistic leftist. That's what she is. She's an opportunistic leftist. I track it to her policies. That woman, that mayor, that person has yet to reach out to this gentleman. And he went on Sean Hannity's television show in tears with another gentleman named Andre Taylor, who is an activist in Washington State. And he just wept for his son. The President of the United States, Donald John Trump, called this man. And they had a man